Sharks. My name is Ali Kamenetsky. I'm the founder of Modern Picnic, and I'm here seeking $400,000 in exchange for 6.5% of my company. As a young professional working in New York City, I would go into the office every day trying to look, feel, and do my best. But when it came to packing lunch, my options were unprofessional and definitely not stylish. Sure, I could use a brown paper bag, but my mom doesn't pack my lunch anymore. And a plastic bag? Definitely not sustainable or functional. Or I could carry something like this, but I wouldn't be caught dead carrying this into the office. Sharks, the outdated lunchbox needed a makeover, so I gave it one. Meet Modern Picnic. Fashionable, insulated, vegan leather lunchboxes so you can bring your food wherever you go, and no one would ever know it's a lunchbox. And we launched with our first product, the Luncher, which, as you can see here, chic, functional, and clean, with the easily wipeable interior to protect against those everyday spills. But that's not all. Since we've launched, we've since come out with a range of different shapes and sizes for all of your meal prep needs. Whether that be our toter backpack, because sometimes bigger really is better, our snacker, perfect for the little things, or our newly launched food containers designed to fit perfectly inside. So Sharks, who's ready to ditch those childish lunchboxes and those wasteful paper and plastic bags with Modern Picnic? So I hope you guys are hungry because I packed our lunch today. In front of you, you have some of our best-selling.
All right, welcome back, super entrepreneurs, to another Shark Tank Biz Review. This I love it. I absolutely. I mean, it's not apparently probably not really meant for men, but I love the fact that there is somebody that's doing something like this because, yeah, I kind of feel that way too. Walking in my own business and like. I mean, I take my own backpack because I have my laptop in it. I usually have a camera or two for different social media purposes and things like that. And just because whenever I'm out, I want to make sure that I have that with me. But that's a personal preference. And then anything else that I need to have, like if I got order stuff for the office or for the business, I'll usually just get it shipped to my house and then I'll bring it in the next day because we close at 5. So like I don't want them leaving stuff out at the door or outside the gate of the business, so of the shop. So and then sometimes like they'll get there after 5, which is a problem. So yeah, so it's just easier to have it ordered to the house. But when it comes to packing lunch, like just the brown paper bag and all, like I mean, I don't know, something that I don't need something like high style or anything, but just something that I don't know feels that maybe fits my style a little more than I guess. The options for male or just basic person taking a lunch. I think this feels neat. Now, with that said, I looked at the website to pull up all the social media and stuff. Which they are on like all the medias, or all the socials as they say. But I haven't looked at the price yet, and I tend to think that it's probably not very cheap. Which is probably why these other companies don't really they make utilitarian style things instead of things that like actually have like form and function baked into them. So I'm looking forward to see what those prices are. $400,000 for a 6.5%. I don't know. Very few people have asked for half a percent. But it is something. I mean, the Sharks laughed. But I'm tending to think that Ali's probably pretty good. I mean, just looking at the site itself, like when I was flipping through to get down to the social media, I was like, wow, this is a pretty impressive looking site. Hits a lot of those marks that I'm looking for, faces and all that. So anyway, we're going to check out the website, social media at the end, as well as feature one of your comments from down below in the super community. So stay tuned for that. Let's get back to seeing what they packed for lunch today.
Products, so let's open it up and see what's inside.
Clever, Ali. Super cool. What are you going to do to the purse snatching industry? Because when they steal this, expecting to find jewels in it, you're going to find a ham and rye in here. It's a great idea.
I think it's worth noting, I was 22 years old when I came up with the idea for Modern Picnic and was able to successfully launch a company within 2 years with absolutely no prior experience, connections, funding, highlighting my ability to make things happen for not only myself, but most importantly, the company really just figure things out.
Good for you.
How old are you now?
I'm 29.
Amazing.
And what do they cost? What do you sell them for?
So they range, our AOV is $155, so we call ourselves attainable luxury. You guys will love this. Our product margins are excellent, averaging in the 80s. Landed duties paid drops down to the 70s, and gross margin, it's a healthy 60%.
Why don't you just give us a dollar amount for this? Yeah, the little one. What do you sell it for?
So
What does
our
it
lunch
cost you?
shirt. So that is around like 30, 35.
Okay, and what do you sell it for?
$159.
Wow. So, Allie, the issue is you can't really sell this in retail because people are going to compare it to purses, not understanding the vision of the lunchbox. It's all online right now, right?
So while our e-commerce direct-to-consumer business accounts for the majority of our revenue,
What's the majority?
70%. So we started going wholesale this year, and it's already accounted for 20% of our sales. We are now sold in sacks. We just launched in the Container Store, and actually this morning, I got my vendor number for Bloomingdale's, which I think is a sign.
You're asking for...
That is pretty impressive. I don't think that's as much of a problem as Mr. Wonderful might think it is, right? Like, yeah, it looks like a purse, but if you, put the right signage around it, I think it'd be pretty obvious that this is what this is for. I think if, looking at some of the pictures, I don't want to flip back too far because then I'll miss my spot here, but, the pictures like you have it opened up and it's a top down with lunch inside, I think is a great way to just show it off and show what it is. Even if you had one for people to like touch and feel, and you say you put fake food inside of it, like it's gonna be, I think, pretty obvious pretty quickly. With that said, like, man, those numbers are pretty healthy. It does make me wonder, though, with such healthy margins, does she run the risk of, competitors knocking her off? Like, what if like a Yeti or a Coleman or something was like, hey, you know what, we're gonna pair up, or Stanley for that matter. Everybody's got their Stanley Cups all of a sudden. I don't know anything about that. I just got my LTT water bottle here. And it's, that's, you do like a pair up with that, and all of a sudden you make it pretty. You take like one of the, I'd like to see, one of my favorite companies, they kind of make some things for guys now, but is Vera Bradley. I think their quality, I don't know if it's still that way, but like 10, 15 years ago when my wife was all about getting the Vera Bradley stuff, I was like, I'm like, wow, these bags are awesome. I wish they made stuff for guys that I don't need necessarily the pillow print, but just the quality of the bag and the longevity of some of those bags that we've had, 10, 15 years, been beat up and all that, I think is absolutely awesome to see that it's not just a brand name. It's not it's just a name. It's actually quality product.
For 6.15 million evaluation, so you must have some sales. Why don't you walk us through the business?
So we've done just under $6 million in cumulative sales from over 40,000 units sold.
What year did you start?
We launched in 2018.
And what will you do this year?
So we're projected to do just over $2 million in sales this
And
year.
how much will you make?
So this year we're projected to lose just under $100,000 in sales.
So why are you not profitable? Where are you spending the money? The money's got to be going somewhere, right? Because if you said you're going to do how much this year?
Just over $2 million.
Okay, and you've got 60% margins? So that's $1.2 million in gross margin contribution. Where's that $1.2 million go?
Yeah, and so in terms of how we're acquiring customers, in recent years, we've really created an emphasis on having a healthy, diversified marketing mix. We do affiliate marketing, TikTok, email, SMS. We have a very optimized website. But
I love how excited you are. I just want to go back to Mark's question.
Yeah.
1.2 million in gross margin. Where did that money go? How much did you actually spend on advertising?
About like 25% of our revenue is going towards marketing.
That's where it is.
Ali, I'm still trying to wrap my head around how you're spending money right now. So if 25% of your costs are going, is that digital marketing and you're spending additional money in brand marketing?
That's correct.
So what is the total cost of marketing?
Yeah.
When you look at that 1.2, like what is the total cost of marketing? So it's not 25, it's actually much more than that.
Yeah, and that's why, like, we're really,
How much?
I would say it's probably 50% on total marketing.
It's too much on marketing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Way too much on
Yes.
marketing, because that's where all your money's going. It's like you are way overpaying to find customers right now, and that's why you're not putting enough money on the bottom line, because your margins are pretty good for this type of product.
Your margins are
They're
amazing.
You're actually overpaying to acquire customers right now.
Yeah, and they're not necessarily going to buy more than one bag either, right? Like once I have my lunch bag, yeah, maybe I buy a second one like for other situations, and that's where you got to have like multiple things for it. But realistically, you should be able to acquire customers a lot easier. But hey, you're pushing $155 bag, your average value of product there, right? The one bag is selling for $159, and that's the small bag. I think that is not. I mean, that's $159. I don't. I can get a lunchbox for a lot cheaper than that. Yeah, it won't be as fancy or nice. I don't know if the quality will. I'm kind of curious as to where the quality is there. But yeah, if you're paying that much out in influencers and things like that to push a product like that, I mean, I wonder if the goal there is to be able to acquire enough market share to be able to sell to like a Coleman, a Yeti, or some form, like some big brand like that. But it's going to be tough, right? But I guess getting into retail, in theory, you should be able to start to back down some of that, but you might end up paying some slotting cost of taking up that space in the store, or even having like your own mini store inside of those. And I'm not in that industry, but I promise you, it probably ain't free to accomplish that.
Okay, do you have investors?
As I mentioned, bootstrapped the company for a couple of years. Shipping out of my parents' garage, they were like, you got to get out. And so in 2020, I knew I had to raise some capital. I had absolutely no idea what it meant to raise capital. I went out and cold outreach to 1,300 investors.
Oh my God,
Ended up
you're
raising $900,000.
What?
Yeah, so we currently have a seed round, like proper seed round open, which we've raised an additional $900,000 for.
Oh, so you've raised the first 900 plus another 900.
Yeah.
So, Ali, let me take a crack at this. I applaud you on what you've achieved here, and your presentation was almost flawless until we got into the numbers. You're spending so much money trying to build a brand, and I have zero interest in funding a brand in fashion. That is so hard to do, and pretty soon you're going to figure out that's not a good pursuit. I'm out.
Yeah, you would. Look, when you are, sometimes it's better to grow slow, right? I know everybody wants to go fast and run to the money, but a lot of times it's better to go slow. The reason is now you've taken on 1.8 million. You have this proper seed round. You're coming to the Sharks. You're looking for 400,000 for 6.5%, and they're not going to want to do it for that. And you've already promised other people, and it's a fashion thing. So like you got to stay at the forefront of that fashion, right? And being that brand that is, hopefully able to compete when somebody else bigger realizes that there's some market here. And you've already gone and done so much marketing, so paying for these people to come along with you for that journey and to say, hey, I want a better looking, purse looking lunchbox, right, for me to put my stuff in. That's that's something that one of the bigger brands is probably going to want to come around and be like, oh, well, we don't have to do as much marketing because this person's already done it, but we already have market share and we have a trusted name when it comes to keeping food cold and all that. So it's tough. I don't I don't envy the position. And it's you're paying a lot of people a lot of money to just to sell one or so lunchboxes. What I'm curious is what the checkout, like the average customer checkout is, because is it for one bag or multiple bags, especially as we kind of move towards a recession here. If that is indeed what we're actually moving towards, it's like a lot of conflicting reports out there right now, and for the last couple of years leading to this moment. But it makes it hard to make a decision on something that is so pricey.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Ali, I would say you need to have more confidence in yourself and your product. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but when you're spending so much on advertising, that's typically because the entrepreneur is afraid that sales might fall, or afraid there won't be the demand there if you stop. You're having to go out and raise money. You have to be very, very disciplined to spend less.
Yeah.
It's not for me, I'm out.
Ali, you're
spending less. Like, you don't always have to get more sales. Sometimes spending less is the better thing to do. You just have to be, you have to be mindful of where you're at and where you would like to be. And look, sometimes you could get more, out of a lot less. Look at who you're having promote the product. Really analyze like who's giving you the best bang for the buck. Maybe have a better negotiate better with some of those deals, and not have to give up so much for each sign up, or each affiliate sale, because that just you should be able to make a lot more money rather than losing $100,000. Meanwhile, you're raising money on a product that isn't a consumable. And yeah, I mean, you might, like I said, you might buy a second one, but you're not going to buy probably 3 or more. So you got to just keep making more products, and you are still competing with a basic lunchbox. You're technically competing with the brown bag, which you could just as easily put in another bag, though it won't keep it cold. So there's that aspect as well.
Dynamo. Great presentation, like Kevin said. I don't think the numbers work right now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm out.
Thank you.
What I don't love is when a young company does so many raises so fast for so much money.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in you make money, you roll it back in, and so I'm sorry, I'm out.
Of course, yeah. Thank you. Shifting out of my parents.
It is ironic they're here, like, promoting to invest in businesses, and she's but hey, sometimes slow is better. Higher quality products will can and will win out. I almost wonder if instead of 150, like what if the bag, you got the bag premiumed up and it was like a $60 or $70 bag, and now it's really, you're selling it for $250, right? Now you're not like you're not like in the middle area. You're really at the extreme, but you have this like super premium bag. That puts you in a position to say, okay, we'll sell less bags, but we're going to make a whole lot more money per bag.
Garage, we had to raise some money because we had to move out and we had to make some changes. We were putting $0 into marketing the first 3 years in the garage, and that's why we raised that.
That's right. You just said it yourself. Yeah. Go back to those times.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest lessons that I learned when I started Good American, and let me tell you, I had 2 different sets of investors.
Yeah.
I had the old guys and the young guys. The young guys said to me, spend, chase that, top line growth. And the old guys said to me, you're going to need profit. When the tides turn, you just have to think about running a profitable business.
Never spoken.
And that is, lucky. I was like, I'm going to listen to these old guys because they just look richer and like they've done more business, you know. And I just think about this all the time. It is a curse of so many young founders that I know, that they have ploughed so much money into the belief that digital marketing coupled with brand marketing and spending these huge percentages is leading to all of these sales, but never ever looking at like the fundamentals of the business.
Right.
What I will say to you, and what I've seen in my own experience, if you look at whatever you're spending on Meta, on Facebook, on TikTok, in any other platforms, you start winding it down, I'm telling you, I almost guarantee it, you will not see a difference in your sales. I think you're amazing. I love the product. I'll be a customer. But for those reasons, I'm out.
Right.
But it's a scary thing to do, right? Because you keep raising the bar, you keep pushing it forward, you keep seeing number go up, and you don't want to see it come down and go to nothing, right? But it, and then you have the Shark Tank effect. So like, is she going to sell out tonight? I don't know. I mean, I hope so, but I mean, it's a pricey purchase to make that decision around, but not as pricey as it probably, like I was saying, could be if you made it even maybe more premium or did something else to add to that value of like, you'll never need another bag again that carries your food. This is the bag. But with that said, like, I don't know, sometimes you if you're not going to work in the professional setting, you might not want that professional or that high fashion bag to like go to your kids' soccer games or something like that. Anyway, it is scary. You're gonna have Shark Tank effect, but yeah, I would start looking at where the returns are coming from the most, and then start weaning the other ones down as you slowly pull the one back. Just pull it back a little bit more, get it more optimized, more focused, and maybe pull back some of those affiliates.
Good luck, Allie. We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Oh, it really is out.
Thank you for sharing this with us today.
The Sharks gave some really great feedback and will, of course, take all of it to heart. We've built a really amazing brand so far, and not getting a shark today is not going to stop us from continuing to grow Modern Picnic.
Well, that is good to hear. So let's go check out, see what they got going on the website. So you get to see people, hands. I mean, that's the kind of shot that I was talking about with the food right there. It pretty much tells you exactly what you need to know. I like how there's a fork and knife fork and knife holder, utensil holder right there. That's a neat feature in and of itself. I don't think I've seen that on. I mean, I don't go shopping for lunch boxes often, but here you go. You got the luncher for $159, $250 for the tote, and the food container is $20. Code Shark Tank for 20% off the food container. I mean that makes sense that have your nice looking food container rather than like a junky looking one or plastic bag or something to that effect. And then it looks like they have is the snacker that small? Oh, the snacker. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's the luncher and then the snacker. I mean that's cool, but like without a strap, I think I would not love it as much, just for the simple fact that you have to carry. It's another thing to carry, like when you're walking somewhere. But so you got your best sellers under $150. You got you can put pet portraits. What is up with that? Oh, so you could get. Is that send in a photo of your pet and they'll put the pet on the bag. That's kind of neat. Then there was that $279 for the large luncher. But no, great photos. Let's go check out the social media. So we got Instagram, which has got 54,000 followers. I mean, that's pretty awesome for a lunchbox company. That's a niche lunchbox company. So pretty awesome. I got quite a bit of engagement here. I mean, I would think that there'd be a little bit more engagement just based upon 54,000. But I mean, the Shark Tank one post obviously does, but I think there would be a little bit more. I mean, you see, like when people were in it outside of the Shark Tank, wow, 1,500. The people like faces, right? They identify with faces. 33, 99, 129. I wonder why this specifically. The second slide. Oh, because of the slides. Okay, so but you know what? You get to the second one, and you got hands, which are people and situations that people can self-identify with. 133,000 followers over on TikTok. Who wants of part 2? Our sheet bags are actually lunch boxes, and people are blown away by it. That's kind of cool. For 2.2 million, showing off the was that the large luncher? 1.2 million, and then some that are just not nearly as got nearly as many views. And that's the thing, is it's sometimes so tough to see what's going to hit the mark there. But we're hiring interns. Okay, cool. 557 plays there. So over on Facebook, you got 5,500 likes, 6,000 followers. I agree with the Shark. So maybe a less expensive but still quality line. Yeah, I kind of think it needs to go the opposite way. But she's trying to hit all the price points, which should enable people to have more things to put into their cart. But these so-called lunch boxes are insanely expensive. I'll pass. It looks more like a purse than a lunch box. I just saw the presentation on Shark Tank. I can see why she didn't get a deal. Man, some people are just brutal. Came out of nowhere just to say that. Look, everything ain't for everybody, right? We can't make it for everybody. If that was the case, when you make it for everybody, it made it for nobody. But not as much engagement on Facebook. Not totally surprising. Twitter, 195 followers, little bit of engagement there. Over on YouTube, got 190 subscribers with 113 videos. So it mostly seems like it's an archive of demonstration videos of what the products are. And on Pinterest, we got 1,400 followers, which is probably amongst the highest that we've seen here on the channel for Pinterest. I always want to say Pinspiration. It's the place not far from where I live, and owned by a friend of mine, where they do like crafts and stuff and all that. But anyway, yeah, so they're posting quite a few posts there. Anyway, Allie, I'd love to have you come on the show for an interview. Just drop a comment down below, like Brian Dinosaur, who says, fantastic interview, Joe. Please do more of these. They provide a lot of interesting insight. I love your channel so much. Well, Brian, thank you so much for being a part of the super community. I greatly appreciate it. I'm glad you're enjoying the interviews and hopefully enjoying these videos as well. And yeah, it's just awesome to get to share it with all of you in the super community. So I'll see you in one of these two videos over here. Take care. Now go be super.